Hello everybody, so today I want to give you an update on a technique I made a video about a while ago, but I found a better way, so I just wanted to show it here. So you know how double basses sometimes, or low cello ensembles, or even solo, that they can have some phasing issues in the low end. So sometimes it's the players just phasing between each other, or the room also, and you end up with some wobbliness. So for sustained notes, even tubas, for sustained notes, you can get some wobbliness sometimes. It's just because mainly the room is causing some phasing issues, and very low notes are very sensitive to phase. So sometimes they happen to be out of phase and sometimes they're in phase. And you end up with this sort of wobbles. You can even see here in the waveform, the note is pretty steady, yet you still have some big peaks here. And you can even see that. Sometimes you want a pretty steady bass, you know. Of course, you shouldn't pin it 100% because it's not a synth. It will have some natural tonal variation. But if you want a really kind of thick Hans Zimmer type of low string sound, you probably want it a little bit more steady. In that case, what you can use nowadays, I found is Soothe. So this plugin is mostly used for the highs, but actually I use it for the lows now. So if you just kind of focus it in the bass, in the low end, okay, something like this, then you can get a lot of control. If you use the hard mode here, it will be pretty accurate and pretty kind of, it will pin down the resonant harmonics. Let me just show you. See that? Now it's really steady. As opposed to... So yeah, I used to do this with Gullfoss, but nowadays I do this with Soothe because I think it's more dramatic. I think the ratio must be higher, or it's more surgical. Soothe is a bit more surgical than Gullfoss anyways. It's a different plugin. So yeah, it works great with Soothe. Try to control your low sustain instruments with this, and you will see how steady it gets. It's pretty crazy. So usually my technique would be to put this on just the low instruments, or maybe just on the strings bass, but only focus it on the low end. And then I would still use Gullfoss, you know, later on. No problem. You can just combine the two. But don't rely on Gullfoss too much to control your low resonances, because it's not as good as Soothe. Now, of course, you can do this with like some pretty not like standard dynamic EQ. But you know, in my opinion, it's not quite as good because Soothe has many points. You know, sometimes it's the first harmonic, sometimes it's the second harmonic. So yeah, for all these reasons, I think it's a really good technique to do it with Soothe. All right, guys, I hope you like this technique, and I will see you later. Cheers.